Welcome back to another episode of Hey, what did I wear on the ice? This week, I'm going to present to you a tribute kit that I did and wore on the ice just recently here in the last few days. I have tons of hours of work involved in this because I customized some things. If you haven't figured it out yet, this is a 1992 USA Olympics Ray Leblanc Tribute.
One more shot by Poudrier. Misses. It's all over. Ray Leblanc, congratulated by his teammates after the big salute. First, we'll start with the centerpiece here. This is an original iTech Retail 950 profile senior mask that was sold this way with the, kind of replica graphics for what Ray wore in the Olympics. Got this helmet actually from Neil out in California. Thanks again, Neil. And it was in pretty rough shape, and it had a regular certified cage because that's really what they came with. First, I had to tear it down and clean it and make all new foam. I used the original foam as templates and cut all new foam for the interior. I had to locate a proper cat eye cage, which I did, and it was black. In order to accomplish what I needed, I painted it up basically 2 days before my game, I believe. 2 nights before my game, I painted the cage. This is an elastic strap across the front with a camera mount. I acquired a U-Hawk Show helmet action camera. They're not in business anymore. They were like a Kickstarter or something originally. And I gave it a try out on the ice this week. Overall, I've heard they're not the safest mask in the world, but it served a purpose for me. And it really fit the look and feel for what I was going for. So a quick talk about the stick. This is actually a black and yellow Sherwood 7000. I think it's a foam core, more of a modern stick than I normally ever use. But back in April, when I first started preparing for this project, I sanded it down and painted it, made templates for the graphics to put the Sherwood graphics on there properly. I even took some extra time, and when I was done, I hand painted the blade of this stick to replicate a fiberglass covered wood blade. So that's all painted on. It's not actually a wood blade. I even acquired some adhesive foil, and I printed on translucent vinyl the stripes so that I could add the stripes to it and put the right foil band on there. I found probably 10 or 11 different photos that I used as reference to get this right, including the tape job. Probably have 8 hours into this stick of labor just to make it. So now we'll talk about the gloves. And I'm a little disappointed in the way I've decided to go with the gloves, but I'm going to explain to you why. So these are Vaughn Legacy gloves. I believe it's B2000 and T2000 gloves. He didn't have like the black on here. It was all white on white. And it was actually a white piece here and a white triangle here. I could not find those anywhere. Same with the Trapper, like it had white cuff, white backhand, white all over. And I couldn't find that at all. So when I was able to come across these, my original thought was I would do whatever I could to cover up all the black. So I started with the Trapper. And on the Trapper, the first thing I did was I made a pouch of a cover for the black palm pad here, wrist pad, and I covered that up, and I even took some extra time to age the white. Next was I unlaced the big backhand pad and sewed a cover for that, went ahead and relaced it back on. I even put a fake vinyl patch with the blacked out logo because this was the Olympics and the logos weren't allowed. When I got to trying to deal with the GenPro or Clarino materials, like the big wrist pad here, cuff pad, and the tee, and then the pieces on the blocker, my original plan was I have removable vinyl. It's not as permanent of an adhesive. It's a lot less tacky or whatever.
And I tested a few different spots. And what I noticed was, just in a matter of putting it on, letting it sit there for a few minutes and peeling it off, is that it was trying to take the printed logos off of the material. And in some cases where there's wear mark areas, it was actually bringing some of the black, like the surface area, off of it. I decided at that point, I'm not the kind of person that likes to do something just for fun that's going to ruin the gear. So I bailed on that and decided I would just roll with them as is, because they're very cool gloves, even like this. Ultimately, I don't feel it hurt the Tribute that much. And like I said, I did hit some of the bigger pieces like there and this entire backhand. And what's cool is this is just a cover that I sewed on, like a pouch that the real pad sits inside of. So I'll be able to unlace this, cut a seam, remove this, lace it back together, and I did no damage to this glove whatsoever. So move on. This is the chest protector I wore. This is a Cooper Legends chest protector. I've done a whole review on the Legends lineup of gear, so I won't talk too much about it. I do enjoy wearing it. I actually have two of these now. This one has the, I guess, neck or throat protection that's laced in. My other one doesn't, so I decided to wear this one. Right, so the pads this week. Ray wore Cooper Legends pads, and I cheated a little bit, but again, part of this goes to the same concept I talked about with the gloves. Ray's pads had 3 red knee rolls. Mine have red, white, red. I originally had contemplated covering that with red vinyl, temporary for the game, but these pads are so immaculate, I just didn't want to risk it. I didn't know how, once I put that on, and then it's on there for, 8 hours or whatever, and it hits the cold of the rink, and then maybe I slide on my knees or anything like that. Like, I didn't know how that would react with the graphics that are on the knee rolls, so I chose not to cover it up. I think overall it didn't hurt the Tribute kit to any exponential degree, that it still didn't make sense and look right. I also believe it's really hard to tell in photos. The stick is a good example. The paddle and the side of the shaft logos originally to me looked black, and he used a lot of this gear, almost all this gear, in games with the Chicago Blackhawks too. So when I was doing the stick originally, I did those logos black, and then I came across, I believe like Classic Auctions or something had his actual Olympic stick, and I did some more close-up views of it, and I noticed, no, it was actually blue. It's just so small on the white stick that contrast wasn't showing. And so I repainted those logos on the stick to be blue. Now, same thing with his pads. I'm fairly certain, though, because the blue areas or the dark areas on the pad are larger, that his pads were actually black and red and white. Mine are red, white, and blue. So I've also already talked about these pads in another video, and I'll include a link here too, so you can see my full review on the Legends lineup. Now we'll move on to the pants. I wore these relatively recently, I believe. These are, I believe, early mid-'80s Wilson pants. And I really like these pants, and they're red with a white stripe. But I needed red with white then blue stripe. So I used some material, hemmed the edges, threw on some Taqua logos, and then temporary stitched them. Just like tack stitched them. I cheated a little bit because I don't think this is as wide as the pants they wore that year were. So what they had was white, then red, then blue. I didn't have enough red material to do a wide red, plus then I realized I would lose a lot of the white. Honestly, I finished that project about like immediately as I had to leave the house for the game. So the final piece of the kit is the jersey. This is another project part of what I had to work on. So this goes back again, I think into about April, May. I realized the jersey doesn't fit proper as a goal cut. So I ended up coming across another one on eBay, really cheap, same exact make and model, brand, all that stuff. And I believe mine was an extra large and the one I bought on eBay was a large. But the one on eBay was just grungy as heck. Like the white was not white, it was light brown. I took a risk because it was so cheap and so stained up. Then I cleaned it. So what I do with that is I take, and on the smaller jersey, I measure out how much extra I need, and I cut the bottom of the sleeves into here and down the sides to come out with these like L-shaped pieces. Then I take the primary jersey and split the seam all the way down from the cuff all the way down the armpit and down to the bottom. Then I sew it in there. And so this is an expanded jersey using an identical original jersey. And I did a fairly decent job of lining up my stripes when I sewed it all back together. And then I have a goalie cut jersey that fits me properly. Another thing I had to do again, the jerseys were either Tacla jerseys or sponsored by Tacla, but they had crest logo with Tacla. So I did that the game day, and they also had shoulder logos. And so I did those in heat transfer vinyl. CCM Masca Tacla. Yeah, so there we go. That's the gear for tonight's tribute. Ray LeBlanc, 1992 USA Olympics. Things didn't go right in that year for Team USA, but I had a good time putting the kit together. The game that I played in was just I got like a 2-day notice on it. It was just like a pickup game from the old timer league that I play in. I got invited to come fill a spot. It was a fun time. If you like the video and you're interested in all this kind of gear and hearing me talk on and on and on about it, please hit that subscribe button and comment. Let's talk about the gear, talk about the goalie that I did the tribute of, any of that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. If you stick with it, watch the game. Feel free to hit the little settings icon and switch it to the 2x speed. You'll do you and me a favor if you do that, because A, it won't take so long to watch from your point of view, and from mine, I'll move faster and look better. So thanks again.
I like a goalie that talks to him.
All right. That's me. Said he likes a goalie that talks to the D. He must not subscribe to my channel. Up the boards. Okay, kids. Here's a little pro tip. Do not contact cement the foam into your mask the same day you're going to wear it. I don't play the puck well at all. Oh boy, that glue smell is getting me. Woo! Go behind me. Don't screen. Oh. Watch the middle.
We're good.
Oh yeah, glue fumes. I'm gonna keep being aggressive and come out of the crease. Try to take away any. Honestly, I can't even blame the 2 goals on being off the ice, really. I didn't have my stick in the right spot, that's it. My stick was not covering in between my pads. Well, screen. Wobbly get up. Watch in the middle. Oh, my calves are tight. Oh, glue fumes. Nice block. My left calf is in a knot. I don't even have a puck mark on the stick yet. I think that's the first time I ever picked a puck up with my glove off the ice. Maybe it's this fancy Von Trapper, eh?
It's on top of the net.
No, there was a whistle. I heard the whistle. You see what happened? It hit my glove and rolled up my arm, and it was sitting right here until I moved forward just that little bit. Holy glue smell. Woo! Woo! I know. Oh, I do have a puck mark now. Yep. I'm okay, are you? Forgot to windmill. Whoa! I guess we're done, eh?